Hey guys, what is going on YouTube? ZK here. As you can see, I'm with two really great friends and a total stranger. We got AC Gamer.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode.
Yeah. Tell us about your character, man. What level is your cleric now?
Of course, I'm playing my cleric. He's a high elf. He's level 34 right now, and he belongs to Tunar. He's coming along pretty well. I like the way he's feeling. Although, to be honest, there has been something I've noticed about him lately. Now that we've gotten to 34, I kind of remember this from the old days being a thing. There is a certain stretch of levels where fizzles become a huge thing, and I am fizzling like crazy. Not on my healing spells, but like on everything else. And actually, yeah, I am fizzling on my superior healing, which is pretty nasty considering that uses so much power. But yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at right now.
Also, we have Cipher Deck with us tonight.
Hey everyone, this is Cypher Deck, and I am playing Orgul, my Necromancer, and I am mezzing this. Oh, I am not mezzing him.
I
But
got it. I got it. I got it.
okay,
It's Mez.
okay, I'm assisting.
Stupid
Yeah,
merchant.
he wants to camp the Grimblox ring just for your epic AC. That's what he said in group. So I'm fine with it.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely up for that, and I appreciate it, man. That's actually a really nice thing to do. Let me reply back to him.
So let me ask you something, Cipher. While we're doing that, how
hmm
do you like your Necromancer, man? Very different from your
What?
Shadow Knight, or are they about the same?
The Necromancer has it a whole lot easier, and I mean, I'm not even. I don't even have a pet right now. Is he running? What's he doing? Oh, he's just pulling it out. So I was like, what
Yeah,
in the world are
there,
you
there,
doing?
there yeah. There's a pre-spectre, and there's also an invisible wall behind me, guys, as you can see. Um,
Now, we don't really have a real tank in this group. We have a shaman who's doing the tanking for us, and you said he had a funky tunic on, right?
yeah, he does.
So he also said he had a high level cleric that was camped here giving him buffs. So that's kind of nice that he has a friend that will log on every so often and do that for him. Oh, that guy is awake again. That wizard. But yeah, we have a shaman, we have a necro, we have an enchanter,
I got
and
him.
then
I
we have a
got him.
cleric. So not exactly the most even-handed group, but I think with these classes, we're going to be able to dominate this
Well,
area.
especially on a shaman, since he can regen himself, and since he's a shaman, and funky tunic equals win. So, on a shaman, so you're not gonna go down, especially with torpor and fungi man. You're good. It's a good game.
Yeah, definitely. And if I can get a recast of clarity, that wizard happened to dispel it on me apparently, so that kind of sucked. Let me.
Yeah.
We're
Do you
good.
guys do you still have clarity? A cipher.
I do.
Right.
Wow, that area effect spell is pretty nasty. Whatever he is casting.
That's why wizards suck, man.
Well,
Enemy wizards, I should say. Sorry.
or that's why they rule because they can do that much damage. It's nuts. In this tight, confined area where you do not want to be. I didn't even want to loot. I just wanted to move a little bit. That guy has a
My,
brick on him
my
though.
pet, my pet's going down. A cleric ad, goblin ad. I'm mezzing it.
Ooh, jeez, you're taking some damage, dude. Don't die.
Oh crap! He resisted mez. He's healing. He's healing.
That's all
He's
right.
healing.
I got you. I got you. If he does heal,
Mez.
that's. I mean, I'm pretty good on power. You gave me protection of the glades, and you also gave me clarity. So my power is going up just fine at the moment. Maybe later on, it's going to be a problem, but usually it's just breaking into a room is where you're going to use all of your mana, and then once you have the room broken, if you're very careful with it, it can be very, very easy. 42. I am at 70% right now. So let
Yeah,
me.
I definitely need.
I'm at
If you
12.
can, when you get some mana cipher, if you could twitch me, man.
All right, yeah, I'm at 13% mana.
Yeah. So let me ask you guys something. How do you guys like now that Velius is out, and you guys once we get in the higher levels, are you guys like looking forward to seeing more dungeons and stuff, and you know, getting seeing all the stuff that we haven't seen, because I raid a lot, but I haven't ever seen the Velius dungeons. I don't go to them a whole lot, so it even just seeing them would be cool. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely want to check out every dungeon, every zone, everything that we can in this game. Give a as complete look of the game as possible. I know it's never going to be complete because this game is so massive. There's always something else to keep you occupied if you really want to go down that route. But yeah, I definitely want to do that. The one thing that I'm really, really looking forward to the most is going to the old school raid zones, like Plane of Fear, Plane of Hate, even Plane of Sky, things of that sort. Because those are the ones that I have really, really fond memories of, places that I went back and just hunted in over and over and over again as my my first time around. So I'm kind of interested to see that again.
But yeah, like you were pointing out that Plane of Fear and Plane of Fear. The thing is with them is it's something not just you can't just walk in there and expect to clear a mob. You it's a very dangerous place. Mobs are everywhere, and they will just they will end your day in a hurry if you don't have the right raid or right group, whatever. So you gotta have a lot of people and take your time. If you're just clearing, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you don't always have to go for a raid boss in Plane of Fear or Plane of Hate. There's plenty of armor and stuff that drops there. So
Oh yeah, just off of trash mobs. But
yeah,
the reason I really want to go back to those, besides the fact it's the nostalgia of just looking at the zone again for like a first time almost all over again, is because me and Cypher, we play Everquest 2 as well, and one of the things you'll see in that game is the zones that came out when it first was released, the game itself. Those were really, really hard when you got to like the max level places. But then as new and further expansions came out, the zones got easier and easier and easier. And if you do go back to those zones and you do fight some of the mobs, even raid mobs from way back when, like one person can kill a raid mob now. And I
right,
want to show people on camera why we still can killing like Plane of Fear, because if you go to like another server where all the expansions are out, going to Plane of Fear, like one person can do that. A bard could probably go in there and kite Plane of Fear all by himself. I want to show people that there's actual strategy involved in killing different mobs and why there's different strategy involved in killing those mobs. Because, when you're that level with that gear on, you have to do that. It's kind of hard to recreate that with a server that has all the expansions, because even if you are able to get people around that level to go into Plane of Fear, their equipment is just going to be vastly superior to anything out. The game mechanics have changed, and trying to recreate that is just going to be impossible. So I kind of want to show that for what it is, why we still can, before further expansions come out and different servers and things of that sort. Maybe even go into different versions of EverQuest down the road and show just how it changed and how those got harder, and maybe different zones have come out since then. But I'm happy here. I like the original EverQuest. So
yeah, me too, man. I've since I got my new computer, I've downloaded a few other games. I've downloaded that Star Wars MMO, not the newest one, but when it I can't think of what the name of it is, but it's an MMO of Star Wars and
Star
not
Wars Galaxy.
No, not Galaxy. It's the second one after. It's another MMO that's like that. It just came out like in 2011.
Oh.
So
Yeah, Star Wars.
Old Republic.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's it. Yeah, I've downloaded that and I've played it when I had a monthly subscription. So I'm gonna definitely be checking that out. I had a Jedi or not a Jedi, a Sith Lord, whatever the warrior class is there, or the Paladin, whatever it is. Version of that is for a Sith. I can't think of all the classes anymore. It's been a while since I played that game, but yeah, be looking for that video. Also, be looking for Dark Ages Camelot Genesis server as well. So that's what I'm currently doing. That's what I'm currently doing, and then I'm currently playing this game as well. So
Yeah, definitely some games out there to check out on your channel, man. I do like your raid footage, to be honest. I do wish the raid footage was a little bit longer, though, because I want to hear, like, the behind-the-scenes of it. I know a lot of guilds, they don't want that to be shown because they try to keep it a little bit of a secret, like, hey, we figured this out through trial and error, a lot of pain and suffering, blood, sweat, and tears kind of thing, to get this worked out the way it needs to be, and we want to keep that to ourselves, because if you want to figure it out, you're more than welcome to go in there and raid wipe over and over and over again until you get it. But to be honest, the game has been out for so long that anything you want to figure out on one of those raid mobs, chances are you're going to be able to look online. There's a few mobs, very, very few mobs in this game that don't have any information on them. And those are kind of interesting, but yeah, I mean, if you just went ahead and just stayed away from showing those, I'd be fine with that. But as far as like Plane of Fear and Plane of Hate, those are very well known, and I would just
Yeah.
love to hear, the clerics in a group sitting there. In fact, I think I'll do that at one point and see if I can get like a round table of either like necros to sit around or clerics to sit around and stream that footage of a raid that maybe we can go on together and have them discuss the different tactics that class uses from a great deal of perspectives from different necros and different clerics, people who have different styles of gameplay or maybe from different guilds, and just get their opinions to give people at home the chance to learn from them, because that is one of the biggest things about this game is not just the level of your character, not just the level of or your this the greatness of your equipment, but your own skill level. Like I've seen people butt naked do incredible things because they know what they're doing and they know which spells to use in what order, and they got the timing just absolutely right, and luck is on their side. Luck is a big factor too, guys. It can make all the difference in this game, but knowing what to do, knowing what mobs to mez and what mobs to charm, what mobs to attack first, and being on the ball, can do just dramatic differences between a fight.
I'll tell you what. I don't mean to interrupt you, man, but
Yeah,
I'll
go
tell you
ahead.
what about. I'll tell you something about the Plane of Fear, man. There's a couple things from an enchanter's point of view that I've seen. You never want to charm the scarelings because they fling the mobs around, and they gate them across the zone. Like they have a shadow step ability that when they hit the mob, it'll fling them across the zone. So that can be bad once you're fighting in there with as an enchanter, because you'll draw more ads, and it can be bad sometimes. And you always want to have it. You always want to have your AOE stuns loaded and your AOE mez as well. And then you want to have people root on top of that, because your root, other people's root stacks with your mez. So that way, if the mez does break, it'll be rooted and you won't have to worry as much. So there's a helpful hint from enchanter's point of view in Plane of Fear.
Yeah, definitely, man. Thank you for that. Did he go through this door? Or?
I think he's pulling. No, he went down to where the Grimblox is.
To the right? Okay, yeah, he's on the right hand side. We can come in. Yeah, it's interesting information from the enchanter, like which mobs to mez and which ones don't. Because if you're playing a cleric or you're playing a shaman or like any of the other classes, you would be completely oblivious to that little fact right there.
Right.
Are there any other mobs that you would suggest doing in a certain order?
Usually the gorillas that are in Plane of Fear are good to charm because they're warriors, and as soon as you get Tashamal on them, and they don't really break mez as much, or I mean charm as much. So always charm the Shiverbacks. They're good DPS, and they hit really hard. So that's one of the mobs I recommend in Plane of Fear if you're going up there. I don't know about Plane of Hate. I know that you can charm the gargoyles up there. They backstab, and they're always good for enchanters as well. So
See, I know as a cleric going to zones like that, you either learn absolutely the bare minimum or you learn really good details on the mobs, because if you're the main cleric or the main couple of clerics, if you're in like that top, group of clerics that they rely on, you're going to be doing like the curing, your side curing anyways, because they're going to have shamans and other people doing it as well, but you're going to be one of those people who will throw those on the main tank when he gets hit with something. However, if you're like the backup or the medium range cleric, really all you're relying on to do is your complete heal. Like that's going to be one of your only jobs. Maybe if you're lucky, they might have you toss in a stun every so often. That's pretty much it. Your job is simple.
However, well, that's not necessarily true. Some fights like Velkator or other mobs that gate, you can't really sit there and complete heal the warrior because he's or any other tank for that matter, because they're going to be pushing the mobs so they don't gate. So lots of times you'll just have the clerics and shamans and druids will just have to spot heal the tank and hope that's enough. The clerics get a really good 1,000 point Divine Light spell, which is always nice. It's a spot heal. So
Oh yeah, I mean there's going to be those situations where the cleric or the person that's playing that guy is going to have to do a little bit more than he normally does. But out of all the classes out there, I think they're going to have the easiest time once they get the timing down. Like once you know how
Right.
to do spot heals and once you know how to do chain complete heals, it's not really that difficult, and it actually becomes kind of I won't say tedious, but it's not as exciting as it once was when you first went in there. So you do want to, if you want that exciting factor, there are certain classes out there that are going to have more responsibility than others. And if you don't want that responsibility, there's also classes out there that aren't going to be relied on as much as well. So for me, the one class that is relied on pretty much the most in a raid, it can make the difference just from the start, is the puller. If you don't have a good puller, the raid's just not going to work. It's just
Yeah.
you're not going to be able to get singles. You're going to get like 4 or 5 at a time, and then your raid's just going to wipe every single time. So
Yeah, we have like 4 or 5 monks, maybe even 6 monks sometimes going out there and pulling, because lots of times when you pull a dragon in, or any other mob for that matter, in Temple of Ishan and in other zones, just any zone in general, you're gonna have a lot of ads sometimes. So sometimes you need to have backup monks and other pullers, to peel the ads off and stuff. So
right.
that way when you're pulling the dragons in and other mobs in, you don't have like a complete heal mob that with that raid or whatever mob that you're fighting as well. So
Now, as a shaman, because that's what you play with your main, what would you say is the most common thing they rely on you to do? I'm not talking about like the special circumstances for the unique mobs. There's always going to be those, and we'll get into those at later dates. But the commonality. What are the things they rely on you to do?
well, lots of times I'm always 90% of the time I'm always in the tank group and I'm always torporating one of the tanks uh and then other times other than that I'm always throwing mallow on the dragon and then casting slow just so they don't hit as hard. But once you like, say we get a dragon down to like 20% and he's starting to gate and you cast torpor, it slows down your tank movement speed and he needs to click torpor off, or otherwise it's gonna be bad because it will just gate without that push.
Right.
Even if you have a lot of rogues or monks, it still will gate because the warrior has to position it as well. So
Yes, that's interesting that they got you doing that. Now, do you see a different job for, say, some of the backup shamans that you have in your guild?
yeah, for sure. Lots of times they'll be with rogues, or lots of times they'll be casting avatar on rogues, or they'll be with DPS healing them, and also they'll also be trying to get them slowed as well, because that end game shaman slow is 75%, and once that lands, it's good game. And now some of the mobs aren't even slowable, like Lord VM. He hits for 1500 and he's not even slowable. So you gotta take that in consideration. And
Right.
some of the other raid mobs cast an AE mana drain, so like they'll say get out, casters get out, so you don't get your mana drained when you're trying to slow or when you're trying to heal.
But see, that's what I was talking about before, is just knowing that knowledge. Because if you know they're going to be doing that, and you know what the range of that mob is when he casts that, and of course you know where to pull that mob. Like there's a lot of things to know in that situation right there. But once you have all those details, it makes the mob dramatically easier to actually kill. Not super easy, not like, oh, this is just a cakewalk. It just makes it doable. And if you
Right.
don't know that, it's just going to be death after death after death. You can possibly do it in many different ways. It's
I'm trying
just,
to I'm trying to mess all these right quick.
it's all right. We got you, man. There we go. But yeah, you can possibly do it in a multitude of different ways of combinations of classes. So if you have more tanks than you do casters, you have more casters than you do tanks. You can kind of change the tactics here and there to kind of compensate for that. But you need to understand like the basics of it before you can start tweaking it in that regards. And that's what I was talking about, is trying to record some of that at a later date once we get high
Right.
enough level to show you what those tricks are, those little tips and tricks that we could maybe share with some of you guys. I also wanted to give a shout out to one of the programmers who reached out to me on my channel. He left a comment. He let me know that I did not have the right sky for the game. That's they went back and they changed it as they kept coming out with new and improved versions of the expansions and stuff like that. And he went back and he recreated the old Sky the way it used to look, the way it should look. And I don't have it on here just yet. So I do
How do you?
apologize for that.
I didn't know they even changed it, man.
Yeah, it's in the game somewhere. It's gonna be on a forum, I'm sure, somewhere. I don't know where it is. So if you do see this video and I have not put it into the videos yet, definitely hit me back with where that is on the forum. I'm gonna look on the forums tomorrow, I think, and see if I can find it. But yeah, he's done it. He's put it out there, and I definitely should have it on here. I didn't even know about it. So this is something new for me to go and experiment with. And I'm hoping maybe when I'm there, there might be a few other ones out there. Like, I know they said they messed around with the spell effects and the particle effects, but I think they've actually incorporated that into the game as a patch more than an update that I have to download. I don't know.
I don't know, man. I've noticed a lot of things different, like spell wise and graphic wise and stuff. A lot I was watching Hydraus's video and he was telling us about the new graphics that they had, and I didn't even really notice until I watched that video. So I'm starting to definitely notice it. They must have Ninja patched some stuff,
Right when nobody was looking.
Probably, it happens.
Yeah, they're very good at what they do, and I have to give them a huge shout out for for all the work that they put into it, because they're not getting anything out of it other than the fact that they enjoy the game. They enjoy the fact that other people enjoy the game, and they want to create this community and give people the chance to, relive it for old time's sake, or go through it for the very first time. And I can't say enough good things about them for doing that, because I've seen other servers out there for video games that have come and gone. Some of them have had fan base servers recreated for them, and then a year and a half later, it's gone. Like there's just no more love there because it just didn't have the population, maybe, or something happened. Who knows? But this one has been around for a very long time now, close to 4 or 5 years, and it's going strong. In fact, it's going better than I think it has in a while. I did watch the last Sirkin's podcast, and he was saying that, or somebody on his podcast was saying, it was that the other guild leader guy that was saying that once Velius came out, the population actually started decreasing a little bit. So I think it's going to have to build itself back up again. I can see why it would, though, because this was like classic, people like that.
Actually, it's actually been going up recently as of late. So I mean,
now it has.
Yeah, but he was right at first. Once Velius first launched, we saw over 2,000 people online. So, but yeah, I mean it's starting to go up slowly, and I want to touch a subject on that on Sirkin's podcast. I was watching one of his podcasts. I think it's his most recent one, except for not today's episode if he did one, but last week's. And there was a question for him that said, when will the sleeper be awoken? And he says he doesn't know yet, or if they're gonna ever do it. And so I mean, stuff like that. I'm glad that the subject was brought up, and I'm glad that they're at least considering it. So.
Oh, he mentioned it on his last episode when he was talking to the guy I was talking about. They talked about the sleeper a little bit, and Sirkin was pretty close to just confirming that they're not going to do anything about it. It's been awoken, it's going to stay the way it is, and maybe somewhere down the road, very, very, very far into the future, if there is enough demand for it, or something special going on, they may go ahead and reset it. But it's classic. Like, it's been awoken, that's classic. It's just going to stay awoken. So we have to deal with the Rampage being buttheads and doing their thing, and I don't know. I mean, I'm not too broken up about it because it doesn't really affect me all that much yet, but I still know how badly some people have taken that, because it's just like, you kind of ruined it. So there's some classes out there will never get their pieces that they would have otherwise gotten. But that's what this game is kind of about. It's kind of about teasing you and saying, hey, look at all these shiny pixels. You can't have any of them. Like, you're just never going to get them. You got a really, really cool pixel, which is the Brain of Kazakh Thul. And how many of those are on the server? Like, what, 2, 3?
There's 5 now.
5 of them?
Yeah.
When you first got it, there was like 2. And you're like one with somebody else, and that was just fantastic. But yeah, 5 on the entire server out of like thousands of players, and how many times you guys kill that mob over and over and over again, and just 5 total. So
Yeah.
yeah, there's some really really good items in the game, even that drop today that you probably will never get, or if you do get, it will take you years to get. So I'm not too broken up about it when you put it in that perspective and you start thinking about it. Yeah, even if the sleeper wasn't awoken, you probably still wouldn't get half of that stuff. So
Well, I was also doing some research on the wiki, and once it's not this quest isn't in the game yet, but there's once the sleeper goes around going to zone, he drops scales, a prismatic scale, and you hand that in along with your sleeper key, and you can get the first ever primal fist weapon for monks, and you can other get other primals that are upgraded as well, like a battle hammer and stuff like that you can only get by that quest, and you can also get a lot of other good items from that quest too. So
whoa, hold on a second. Did he just die? Where did he die? I didn't even see him going down. Yeah, I do apologize, man. I didn't even see you going.
pull it back, pull it back.
Yeah. Yep.
And it looks like on my screen he still has, full life. Or not full life, but it looks like he's... Oh, we got an ad.
Yeah, he's dead though.
Okay. Oh, no, that's your pet. Okay, that's right. Let me know if you need your pet healed. That
All right.
sucks. Logging over. Yeah, he's gonna go get his cleric. Or somebody's cleric, and drag his body back to the entrance, and I guess he'll leave his body there and maybe res it later on when his friend logs on. So I do apologize if you ever watched this video, man. I did not mean to let you die. You were just I guess a tad bit too far outside the door. I didn't even see you come into the room. So
Yeah, I didn't even see him either.
did you see his corpse? Is he out there?
I didn't have a chance. That's what I was there.
Let's see if we can find it. See how far back he went.
He says he
Said
can
hidden
drag it.
wall.
This hidden wall?
Oh.
No, I don't see him. Maybe he's
Here, I
gotten
think
it already.
we need to come back and kill my pet, guys, before we get room pops. Oh boy, we got room pops.
Just keep using your pets for the room pops. I don't think we can take this on without your pet.
Yeah. My pet could use a heal.
Okay, which one is it?
The one with the spear.
All right, let me toss him one. But yeah, this is a pretty difficult room. We've been here once before, and we did have a little bit of trouble with it, especially when the healer does not pay attention to what's going on, guys. It's a horrible, horrible healer to have. Unfortunately, this is the only healer they got right now is a half absent-minded cleric who occasionally notices that somebody died. And I do apologize. A little bit. It's kind of funny to see occasionally, but I just wish I could actually give him his experience back. I wish I had my 96% res, and I could just do a little clicky. Maybe one day, but not just yet.
That's why we're here, guys. We're trying to get a piece of his epic anyway.
One of the easiest pieces, actually. The rest of it is kind of difficult. Nowadays, maybe not so much, because there's a lot of high raids, high-level people with, raids that are going on all over the place. But back in the day, it was a little bit more difficult to kill a lot of those really, really hard mobs. So this was one of the most difficult pieces to get, or actually easiest pieces to get. Difficult pieces to get if you're doing it solo by yourself. I mean, this is just a hard camp for a cleric to camp without like a friend and a tank to kind of take the damage for him. But what do you guys, you think pickles here, pickles and onions?
Yeah, I agree. If you guys like these videos, definitely hit that like button, comment, subscribe. If you guys don't say anything before we go, we got AC Gamer.
Hey guys, I just want to thank you again for watching. Definitely, go check out some of the other guys that I'm here with. You're gonna like the videos that they produce.
Yeah, for sure. We also have Cypher Deck.
Hey, yo, this is Cypher Deck, and thank you guys for watching.
And until next time, I'm ZK. We'll see you next time.
Subscribe.